Hi. So, it's been a hot minute since I've been in this location, since I've had these glasses. These have been hidden away in my trumpet case for the last 9 months. Had no idea they were in there. I only looked in there because, as you're gonna see this Friday, I have a very exciting video coming at you that my grandmother recommended I do. Grammy, thank you. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Solitaire by Alice Oseman, which is going to be one of my favorite books of the year, 100%. So I know that I'm probably the last person on BookTube to read this, and I don't know what took me so long. Actually, I do. It was on, I had it on Libby, and I was waiting to get it. Download Libby. I was waiting to get it, and it finally came through, and the second it came through, I was like, oh god, it's time to go. I had read Radio Silence last year, and I liked it. It was like a 3.5 star for me, and I was like, okay, well, she seems like a decent writer, but I didn't have any super intense desire to read the rest of her work, so I kind of it was in the back of my mind. And then this came through, and I was like, forefront, immediately. So, I've got a lot to say. First of all, I love these characters so much. Oh my god. Tori is realistically just like a whole person. She's like so fully formed, and honestly, she's definitely like Alice Oseman. Like, this is like a self-insert. I can get that feel, and I appreciate that feel. So to get this out of the way, this book isn't perfectly written, but she wrote this when she was 17 years old. So I didn't go into it with the expectation that it was going to be a literary masterpiece or some sort of work of art. But it was just like, I was so emotionally connected to the story that it was jarring to read it. It was like seeing a story that I'd written in my head a million times, like put on a page. And that was such a peculiar sensation. This story is so reflective of how shitty it is, and like how stressful to be in a school system where your grades are put ahead of your mental health, and how your future is going to happen is way more important than how you're going to make it to that future. And I felt this so hard. This is so reflective of a high school experience you have to recover from, which was my experience. So this is so good. Okay, back to the characters. So I really recognized Tori. I feel like at 16 I was Tori. So reading this was a very strange experience. It was like seeing 16-year-old me sit on a page. It was weird. It was a weird thing, but I loved it. Nick and Charlie are adorable. I'm probably gonna read Heartstopper soon. I know that, Sophia, I know you love Heartstopper. I don't know why I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'm probably gonna read it soon. Michael Holden may be a manic pixie dream boy, but he's my manic pixie dream boy, okay? I know that he's totally a trope, but he's a sweetheart, and he's a good trope, and I loved that about him. He's a wholesome little bean, and he got angry in all the right places, and he cared in all the right places, and I just loved everything about it. You guys, this book made me cry so hard. Okay, probably all of you have read it at this point, but if you haven't, please read it. Go on Libby, pick it out right now. It's so good. Okay, so the "I don't want to be here" line hit me in the chest, being stabbed, because I felt that resonated with me. So much of this book resonated with me. Also, I think I've loved you since I've met you. Tell me that doesn't sound like the most beautiful, most romantic line you've ever heard in your entire life. Honestly, earth-shattering. If I ever get married, I'm gonna put that in my wedding vows. I'll credit Alice Oseman when I do it. Ugh. So the conclusion is stunning, startling, magnificent, sweet baby Jesus, so good. Once you can tell where the ending begins, because it's just so you know those cartoons where a snowball's rolling down a hill and it keeps gathering more and more snow until it becomes bigger and bigger, and it's just going so fast and you can't stop it. That is what this ending reminded me of. Also, Tori has a blog on Tumblr. Okay, so as you do after you finish a good book, you go into the Tumblr tag for it. So I was doing it, and I found her blog, which is called Chronic Pessimist, and I was like, wait, who did this? And Alice Oseman did it. Alice Oseman wrote a blog for Tori, because blogging is such a big thing for Tori. Tell me that isn't the coolest thing you've ever heard in your entire life. Answer, it is. It's amazing. Also, can we talk about this cover? Up here at the top, the Times call it the Catcher Rye for the digital age, and I just think that's so good, and that's so reflective. Like, I identified with Holden Caulfield a lot when I read Catcher in the Rye, and I loved Holden, but he was like a jerk, but also he was not completely me. He was like an off-color me, like a shade of me. And Tori is me, and that's so weird to say, because sometimes she's downright unpleasant in this book. But you know, I recognize that too. A lot of the time, teenagers are awful. Teenagers can be horrible people. And she balances grief and love and depression. Depression is depicted so well in this book. Genuinely, like, so good. Okay, I could go on forever, but I should probably stop. In conclusion, 5 out of 5. If you haven't read Solitaire by Alice Oseman, please pick it up. This copy is beautiful. Spoiler alert, when I put my hand down, I'll stop spoiling. So it says this is not a love story on the front of the book, and I'd seen that, and I kept going through the book, and I was like, okay, but like, not a love story, but also Tori and Michael have to end up together, right? Because I'm not going to tolerate anything else. And that kept going, and at some point I was like, oh my god, are they not going to end up together? Because like, I can appreciate a romance, but there's so much chemistry here. And then they got together, and I was like, this isn't a love story, my ass, but also, oh my god. Okay, hand down. Okay, so, as I said, have a very special video coming at you guys on this Friday. I cannot wait for you to see it. Also, I skipped my May wrap-up, and it looks like in the future I'm just not going to do wrap-ups anymore. I was editing the video, and I was like, this is boring. Watching mine, I liked mine when I was at college because I also encapsulated little slices of life moments, but when I'm home for the summer, nothing's really happening, man. I'm just chilling. So, I'll just put a list of the books I read down in this description, so you can see what I read in the month of May, and that'll probably be how I do it now. So there's still you guys can still see what I did and talk to me if you loved a book that I loved, but maybe I'll do a book blog or something. I just don't feel like I can devote a whole video to it in good conscience. So, is it good conscience or good conscious? Conscience? Conscience. Yeah. Okay, I have to stop. Alright. I hope you guys are all doing really, really well. Hopefully most of you, I think all of you are done with school by now, so summer is happening. We are out here. We're doing it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys this Friday.